That's true.
Okay, so John is right. Before we started filming today, I showed up at the studio and said, "Hey, I can't go on mic yet. I need to shower." And John was like,
It's off-putting.
I don't really get it, but let me get you a dirty towel." Which, after I explain this, you're going to throw the towel away. John, since we are on microphone and
do we want to guess? Do we want
to?
No.
No.
We just want to get straight to it.
No. I just want to get straight.
Okay.
I need to get this off my chest, literally and figuratively.
Gross.
John, since we are on microphone and not video, I was wondering if you wouldn't mind sports telecasting what I'm about to do for the sake of our listeners. And additionally, could I request that you do it in the overly excited voice of a Mexican soccer announcer?
I don't know enough Spanish, but we can absolutely do that. Today, we're going to have a little bit of a revelation from Conor. He is on the microphone. He's very, very close.
Maybe just the enthusiasm, but not
the accent.
not the super awkward racist-y accent.
It's a beautiful afternoon here.
Perfect.
We're going to talk to Conor Johnson. We're going to find out what happened with him at the doctor. He's going to the doctor. He's taking his shirt off. His shirt's off. Now his pants are coming off. The doctor is getting a glove.
Okay.
The doctor says your prostate is very enlarged.
Okay.
Am I getting any part
Yes,
of it right?
perfect.
Okay.
So now I'm going to take my headphones off for the sake of a demonstration, and just
so that's what I need to do the announcing
you're just gonna announce.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, he is taking a sip of his coffee. I feel like I want to do golf announcing.
That's fine.
Okay.
If that's more comfortable for you, please point out the awkward and trepidatious look on my face and the shame which I am about to exude in all directions.
Ladies and gentlemen, he does look uncomfortable. This is a fairly standard look for Conor. We've seen over the years that he can be shy and awkward, and he's standing. I'm now getting nervous. We're in a closed room, and okay, ladies and gentlemen, the shirt is coming off. I'm seeing, dots. There are dots everywhere. He has like nipples all over. Oh my gosh, are those scabies or... Is that gonorrhea? Do you have raging syphilis? So he's got his shirt off. Please don't take any other articles of clothing off. He's now motioning in a circular motion around his genital region, implying that the entire body rash is covering his inguinal region, his bollocks, his rectus, abdominis. Wow. Can you?
So I goes to the doctor.
Can you sanitize your hands before touching those earphones?
So I goes. Oh, they're on. It's all over my ears too. In fact, it's really bad behind my ears, which is weird. I feel like I'm.
Why did you use my towel?
I told you.
Where did you put it?
I told you were going to want to throw it away. So
what in God's name is that?
So I goes to the doctor yesterday, and mind you, my boyfriend is a doctor, so I had some advanced intel on what I was walking into. But I don't know if you know this, but it's actually very common for people to get skin infections. It's actually not an infection, it's psoriasis, after they get strep throat. So back on New Year's of 2009, I had a sordid, as your ransomer would say, affair in the bathroom of our friend's house.
Would you say it's a secret?
No, it's not a secret.
Is it worth $8,350?
There were many pictures on MySpace at the time, and no, it was worth far less than that. I was not good at those things. I had a sordid interaction with a young co-ed in the bathroom of our friend's house.
So you are not a gold star gay?
Oh, far from. No. I did quite well with the ladies. Hey, how's it going? So I had this interaction with this young woman in the bathroom for 5 or 6 minutes.
So romantic.
Oh, super romantic, right? And at one point we flushed the toilet so people out in the hall couldn't hear what was going on.
Thought you were taking dumps together?
We'll be out in a minute. We're using the toilet.
That conceals it.
We're doing the front seat, back seat.
It's just me and this hefty gal are just taking, alternating shifts.
She was hot. She was not. I mean, I did kind of have a thing for the larger woman, but she...
See, that's just wrong. You're taking that from
someone who might actually enjoy the activity.
Enjoyed it.
Well, I had to keep appearances up, all right?
And gotten the huge scabies body rash.
I had peer pressures. Will you turn that off? It's making me uncomfortable.
This is where Yanni really takes it home.
Is this Yanni?
I don't know.
I like his later
John
work.
Tesh?
Please turn it off. So I had this sordid, this is going to be my new word, sordid, this sordid affair with this young woman. And a few days later, I developed just a horrendous tonsil infection. Like, my whole throat swelled up. The glands are all swollen. And, you look inside your throat, and it looks like you have 2 pieces of cauliflower wedged in the back of your throat, because it's like you're growing like mushrooms on your tonsils. Awful. It was super painful. It felt like my head was going to explode.
I have never had a venereal disease in my mouth, so I actually don't know what you're talking about.
I actually don't think that's true, but we'll move on because we're talking about my venereal diseases today. So I get this tonsil infection, and long story short, I get treatment, and it eventually goes away. But every year or so, it would come back. I would have a tonsil infection, and it's not a big deal. You take some.
It's not herpes, because I don't know if tonsil infections just come back.
Hold that thought. So you take some penicillin for a few days. It goes away, right? It's crappy, but it goes away, and it's not like a sore throat. It's more like it's just super painful. You don't have a cough, but it's just like super painful, and it feels like your throat is swelling up, like you got stung by a bee in the jugular, and you're allergic to bees, and you're pretty sure you're going to die. It kind of feels like that. So that happens every year or two. Recently, it's been less and less frequent, but 3 years ago was the last time it happened. And it happened, it went away, but I got these weird red dots on my right buttocks cheek for like a month and a half. And my boyfriend at the time wasn't exactly sure what it was, but his classmate, he was a third-year med student at the time, was like, oh, that's a gut-tape psoriasis. Yeah, because it's secondary to strep infection. So it's very common, actually, to get psoriasis after you get strep. So I got it about a month ago. I got the throat swelled up. I took the pills. And, maybe a week later, I'm like, why do I have so much chest pimples? Why do I have this shoulder knee?
Gross.
That's
really, really gross.
Bicep pimples. And then I start to realize, oh, this is much worse than I had expected.
What did you think it was? I mean, I still don't know what it is.
Well, at first, I thought that I just had terrible body acne, which is understandable because I'm not good at the showering thing or the exfoliating, and I'm basically an overgrown teenager. So I was like, oh, I'm just getting the chimples, but there were a lot of chimples, and then they started to spread, and So, here's where it gets weird. So there are these red sores on the whang, several of them. So I goes to the doctor yesterday, and the doctor calls in the dermatologist. Please don't make that face. This is awkward enough as it is. This is confessional time. You're not allowed to judge. So I goes to the doctor, and the doctor's like, oh dear.
Now, did you show him your hem?
I did, and he's like my age and kind of attractive, and he's poking around with it. And
now, do you ever chub up before your physical?
You try, right? You try.
I usually get so nervous that it goes in it's like turtle dick.
Exactly.
And goes into its home.
Exactly.
And you're just like, this is a bad showing. This isn't even me on an average day.
It's usually at least 2 or 2.5 inches, sir. Trust me. It's much better than this.
Get that little bird egg in a nest down there? Yeah, that is normally a much larger egg.
Yeah, please note that it's not always a turtle head. So he's like poking around at it. By the way, one time I went to a urologist who was like this 6'4" black dude. He was all jacked, and I'm like,
called that a dick?
And I'm like, did you really have to go into urology? Like, do you know how uncomfortable this is for me? Knowing that inside your head you are laughing at my inadequacy right now, the way that most people have laughed outside their head for all my life.
Look at that cute little thing this guy brought in.
Did you leave the rest of it in your car?
That's so cute. Does it work?
It's like a bonsai tree.
It's like Mr. Miyagi pruned it.
Yeah. So he's poking around at it, and there's red dots all over the whang. And
did you show this to your doctor boyfriend, or did you I'm keeping this shit secret?
Let's not get into that. So the doctor calls in the dermatologist, and she has me take my shirt off, and she's poking around, and she says, well, see, the thing is, it's definitely psoriasis. Like, we had pretty much established that. And she goes, the thing is, psoriasis is chronic. It's lifelong. So, yeah, we can give you some cream and stuff to treat it, but it may not work. It may not go away. And she's like, the best treatment is UV. So, if you go out in the sun, that's good treatment. And I'm like, oh, great. So my socially crippling, disgusting disorder is best treated by showing it to a bunch of people in public.
Especially your penis covered in
Yeah,
sores.
awesome. I'll get right on that, doc. And then the general...
Jersey Shore, here I come.
Yeah, so the general practitioner who had just finished fondling me is sitting in the corner.
And then feverishly washing his hands.
Oh, he burned that glove. He just couldn't get that thing off fast enough. He goes, yeah, and he's got some weird red dots on his hoo-ha, medical term. And at this point I chimed in and I was like, yeah, I think that might be herpes because just the way it looks. And she goes, no, the thing is, herpes goes away much faster. It usually only lasts for like a week.
Oh, man.
And as I said, the psoriasis is chronic. So I walk out of the doctor's office thinking the worst thought that could ever go through someone's mind, which is, man, I really wish that was dick herpes.
Oh, man. That is a bad diagnosis. When you walk out and you're bummed that you don't have herpes.
Don't have dick herpes.
Well, sir, what you have, the good news is you actually do not have herpes. What you have is something that appears to be herpes.
But it's much worse.
That doesn't go away.
Yeah, ever.
And unlike herpes, we don't have a pill or a cream that can make it go away.
You know how herpes never really goes away? This really doesn't go away.
That's fun.
Yeah.
And what sucks worse is, like, if I had that, I'm married, so no one gives a shit anyway.
Yeah.
Because no one gets to see what's doing anymore. I mean, I guess they see it, but it just doesn't get used. But with you, apparently based on, like, the grinders and the stories that I hear, the idea is to maybe use it. And this is not gonna go over well.
I'm going into the priesthood. Well, that's probably the wrong analogy because they do a lot of gay stuff. But I am.
You don't want to expose this to the children. Haven't they suffered enough?
Yeah, you're right. I am. I don't know. Who are people who don't have sex? I'm
married people. Just marry your boyfriend
married.
And you're good.
I'm getting married. So they send me down to the pharmacy. And first of all, they give me cortisone, which I don't know if the average person knows. Cortisone is a steroid, right? So I have to...
It should be relabeled Dr. fucking gave up.
Right.
Because anytime you have a disease or...
Cortisone.
Yeah. Just put some cream on it.
Just put some cortisone on it. This stuff is magical, though. Like, your elbow's broken? Rub some cortisone on there. It'll fix it. It's basically like the... what was that? The
therapeutic range is like... leprosy.
Yeah, which is basically what I have, right? I look like a freaking leper. What was that Blacklight movie that made like $1 billion, the James Cameron one, where they go to the other planet to find unobtainium? It sincerely was called Unobtainium. You're staring at me like you've never seen a movie before because you haven't.
Yeah, I don't
Avatar.
Animated.
So they go to the planet to get unobtainium. That's basically what cortisone is. It's like it's this magical elixir. So they give me that to rub on the hoo-ha. Which is awesome because now my wang is going to get super buff. But the other thing they gave me, which I brought today because I figured you wouldn't believe me, was, I'm not kidding, I didn't even know pharmacies had an item this large. It's like an off-citronella candle jug of some goop that I now have to smear all over my body. It is like it's like a keg of mayonnaise. It's like pharmaceutical grade mayonnaise.
Oh my gosh.
Let me just set it down on the table.
Oh.
He's like, when you go to McDonald's and you order like 6 family meals and McDonald's actually has a grocery bag, a take-up, you hardly ever see them except when you're high and you order everything on the menu. I had to leave the pharmacy with one of those.
Oh my God. Sir, the pharmacist was like, I'm sorry, my friend, I've done this for 20 years, but you're fucking gross.
Yeah, you're going to need to leave now, sir. This is too much. He
just starts spritzing his counter with alcohol.
So, when you go to pick up your medication at the pharmacy and the clerk is like, do you need a pharmacy consultant, where they actually bring the pharmacist.
Dear God, no, I want no one in line to hear what I'm getting.
I said, yeah, that might help because this is a lot of stuff. And the guy's like,
You're a better man than I. I would have put it on. I would have taken the risk of completely fucking it up by just stuffing it in the bag and running out.
I am way past shame here. So he's like, do you want a consult? And I was like, yeah, that might help. And he goes, no.
He just said no.
just take your family bag of mayonnaise and get out of here, and don't touch anything on your way out.
Excuse me, sir. Would you take your penis balm and leave the store now?
So, excuse me.
Your hand aren't wanted here.
The correct term is penis steroid. So anyway, when I got up to
just imagining, I'm sorry to interrupt again, but I'm just imagining the level of self-shame when one gets out of a shower, stands there in a mirror covered in herpetic blisters, opens a jar of body mayo, like 3 fingers scoops it. Not like, you know how like you squeeze a little tube on your
this is not a dollar.
This is like a 3-finger scoop like a Miracle Whip.
This is like the pile of butter you get on your pancakes at IHOP.
Starts leathering up yourself. I mean, that is a level of shame I'm glad I don't yet know.
The other thing is, a good archipelago of these red dots are on my back.
How do you mayo the back?
You don't, right? So you either have someone who's willing to do it for you, which I do not, nor would I ask anyone.
I've got the answer.
Okay.
Fat people have fat people things.
Yeah, a rag on a stick, I know.
Yes.
I've thought of that.
They have stores where they buy stuff for fat people because they can't do stuff like clip their toenails, wash their hem.
No, I know.
Anything.
Yeah, I know. But I also subscribe to this theory that if I can't see it, it doesn't exist. So I'm just going to worry about the front area.